welcome to the latest installment of My Dad Listens to This Quarantine Edition. With our state's stay-at-home order soon to be lifted, so maybe not quarantine edition for the next episode. We'll see.
We shall see, unless someone really screws it up.
And it won't be us. I'm Juliet the daughter.
That must make me Kevin the dad.
I hope so.
So, Jules, who did you pick for us to listen to?
Well, I felt like we needed to go to some classic rock or some classic blues, and I decided to pick a guy I really liked as a kid, and someone who I still respect now. Guys, we're talking about Bo Diddley, so Dad, take it away.
Okay, Bo Diddley was born December 30th, 1928 in Macomb, Mississippi. His real name was Ellis Otha Bates.
Okay.
He was adopted and raised by his mother's cousin, Gussie McDaniel, and changed his name to Ellis McDaniel.
That's why it's McDaniel, okay.
In 1934, they moved to the south side of Chicago. He was a member of the Ebenezer Baptist Church, and while there, learned to play violin and trombone, so the man was classically trained.
Oh, cool.
He was so proficient, the musical director invited him to join the orchestra. He played until he was 18. He became more interested in the rhythmic music he heard at the Pentecostal church and took up guitar. After seeing John Lee Hooker play, he supplemented his income as a carpenter and mechanic by playing on street corners with friends, including longtime bandmate, that master of the maracas, Jerome Green. More on him later.
Bring it to Jerome, yeah.
In 1951, he landed a regular spot at the 708 Club on Chicago's South Side. In 1954, Bo recorded demos for I'm a Man and Bo Diddley. They re-recorded the songs at Chess Studios with a backing ensemble comprising of Otis Spahn on piano, Lester Davenport harmonica, Fred Kirkland drums, and Jerome Green maracas. The record was released in March 1955, and the A-side Bo Diddley became a #1 R&B hit. Now, as for that name...
Bo, yeah. I want to know how he got that from Ellis McDaniel.
There's a few origin theories.
Okay.
1, it was the name of a teenage Golden Gloves boxer. 2, it's a one-stringed instrument called the diddley bow, which was down south. I guess was like their version of a homemade violin or guitar.
Okay, like something you'd see with like a guy playing a washboard or
Like
something
a jug
like
band
that.
type of thing, yeah. Number 3, a singer his adoptive mother was familiar with.
Oh, familiar.
Familiar? Doesn't say how familiar.
That'd be kind of messed up, though.
Or 4, the name of a local comedian that Leonard Chess borrowed for the song title.
Now, which theory is the most popular?
I'm not sure. I mean, the one that I've seen come up a lot is number 2.
Okay.
The one-string instrument called the diddley bow.
Okay.
It's possible.
This could be like a question on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me or something.
Yeah.
So, how did Bo Diddley get his name? Was it A?
Well, I mean, it could be any of the 4. Anyway, he is one of the very few artists, or possibly the only artist, who has his own beat named after him. And everyone pretty much knows it as Shave and a Haircut 2 bits, and it goes like this.
If you couldn't tell, my dad's a drummer.
Okay, not a very good one.
No.
Bo says he got it from trying to learn to play Gene Autry's song, I've Got Spurs That Jingle, Jangle, Jingle. A few years before Bo Diddley song came out, a song that closely resembles it, Hambone, was recorded by the Red Saunders Orchestra with the Hambone Kids. The diddley beat runs through the history of rock and roll. If you go on Wikipedia and type in Bo Diddley beat, there's a list of 30 songs spanning from 1955 to 2013, and they're probably like the most famous versions of that beat.
Like what?
Because there's like tons more out there too.
Like what?
There's
You should have written it down!
There's Faith by George Michael.
Oh, okay.
There's this is gonna drive me nuts because it's a Buddy Holly song and I know the name of it, and the Stones covered it.
Wait, sing. Oh, it's that one. Is that Ollie V?
Not Fade Away.
Oh, not Fade Away.
Not Fade Away.
You should have written that down.
Okay, yeah. The most recent example that I heard, though, was a song called At the Bottom of the Ocean by Ezra Furman on an episode of Sex Education.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Bo also built his own guitar using a rectangular body, which became his trademark.
That guitar was so cool. We got to see it when Dad and I went to Seattle to visit my Uncle Michael. I got to see Bo Diddley's guitar behind a glass case, and he had died like a couple of years ago before that, so I saw it and I was like, wow!
Yep.
It's
now,
so cool.
In a 2005 interview, Bo said that it came about from an embarrassing incident.
Oh.
In his early days, he was playing a Gibson L5 and doing a lot of jumping around on the stage. And when he landed, he hurt his groin. Yeah. So he decided to make something less injurious.
Oh, ow. Oh dear.
Yep. Now, in November 1955, he played on The Ed Sullivan Show. He was asked to sing 16 Tons when a staffer heard him singing it in his dressing room. Now, when Bo came out, he saw Bo Diddley written on a cue card, and he thought he was supposed to play that and 16 Tons.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Ed was not happy, and Ed being Ed, banned him from the show.
God damn it.
Yep.
That's why you would never see any clips of him on the Ed Sullivan Show online.
Now, Bo had quite a few hits on the R&B charts, but only one top 40 hit, Say Man, which we'll talk about later.
Okay.
He also co-wrote Love is Strange, which became a huge hit for Mickey and Sylvia in 1957, and it also showed up on the Dirty Dancing soundtrack, which sold 18 million copies.
Well, yeah, because they picked all the songs on it, but apparently, like, I saw a documentary about the making of Dirty Dancing, and the getting of the music was very much up until the last minute. Like, they didn't know if they were going to be able to get the rights to those songs, because the guy was like, yeah, I'm working on it. He really wasn't. He was just sitting on his ass doing nothing.
So, I like to think that Bo came into some money.
I hope so, or at least if he has an estate or some family members, that they got the money. Yeah.
Now, Bo also broke ground by having females in his band.
Duchess! The Duchess!
Yeah, now,
so much.
wait.
Oh.
First, there was Peggy Jones on guitar, then Norma G. Wofford, also known as the Duchess.
Oh,
now,
I love that name so much.
when the Duchess was with Bo came out with the story that she was his sister, just because when they were traveling around the United States at that time, that she would get less crap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I get why you did that. Okay, good for him.
Now, Debbie Hastings was his musical director and bassist for the last 25 years of his touring.
Why did the Duchess leave?
I don't know. I couldn't find any information.
Maybe she got tired of it or
But
something.
yeah, it's a
That
cool
sometimes
name.
happens.
Or it could have been when maybe the hits stopped that,
Yeah, all right, I'm out.
everyone had to go out and get real jobs. Now, the early 60s were rough because the hits stopped. But he started getting popular in Europe thanks to a band called, I don't know if you ever heard of these guys, the Rolling Stones,
Oh, cool.
who were covering his songs.
He got money for that, right?
He had a wildly successful tour over there in 1963, performing with the Everly Brothers, Little Richard, and the Stones themselves, who were a not well-known band at the time, so they were the opening act.
Cool.
Now, Bo was worshipped out there, but he was not willing to move out there.
Well, that's fair. And
Yeah.
you don't want to leave your home and everything you've known.
But Bo still ended up touring in the United States, and at one time he actually played a couple of gigs with the Grateful Dead in 72.
That sounds cool.
Now get this, he moved to Los Lunas, New Mexico, lived there from 1971 to 1978, and while living there, he was a deputy sheriff for 2.5 years, thus
cool.
truly living up to one of his album titles, Bo Diddley is a Gunslinger.
Imagine if you got, like, pulled over for doing something stupid, like drunk driving, and you look up and you see Bo Diddley as a deputy sheriff, and you're like, oh, shit, I must be drunk.
I would look at him and say, but Bo, I'm a roadrunner, baby. You can't catch me.
He probably would have laughed and said, nah, your ass is still going to jail, come on.
Yeah. In 1979, he opened up for The Clash on their U.S. tour because
No shit!
Joe Strummer was just in awe of Bo. They said a couple of times when he was backstage watching Bo, he would just be standing there with his mouth open. Like
Aw,
he
that's
just
sweet.
worshipped the guy.
That's cute.
In 1983, he played the pawnbroker in the Eddie Murphy movie Trading Places.
Oh, sorry, pawn or...
P-A-W-N.
Thanks, okay, just because sometimes the New England accent, I don't want to, like, alarm any listeners. It's like, no. So what movie was this,
No,
Blues Brothers?
okay, being a New Englander, there's pawn, and then there's porn.
Okay, so now they know.
The
All right.
struggle to get the R in there.
So it's
okay.
Blues Brothers, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Trading Places.
Trading Places, sorry.
Trading Places. Okay, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1987, which was a no-brainer at the time.
I mean, yeah.
Two of his songs, Bo Diddley and Love is Strange, were inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame
Cool.
whatever that is. In 1989, he signed a deal with Nike for their Bo Knows campaign, which teamed up Bo with Bo Jackson, who played both football and baseball at the time. He was a huge athlete.
Okay.
I know he played with the White Sox, and I'm sorry, I cannot remember the football team that he played with. Maybe something out in California. I don't know.
It's not the Patriots, we don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't even bother to check which football team it was. Sorry, kill me. Now, the deal ended in 1991, but Nike being Nike was still cranking out Bo-related product. In 1999, despite a cease and desist order and a lawsuit filed on Bo's behalf in Manhattan federal court. Now, I don't know what happened after that. I couldn't find any information. I'd like to think that they won their lawsuit because I haven't seen any of that Bo Knows stuff.
Maybe Nike wanted to bury it as much as they could, so you can't find any records of that case online.
That could be. I'm sure you could probably get stuff on eBay, though, if you really want to.
Oh, yeah.
Now, in 2005, he toured the U.S., Europe, and Australia to mark 50 years of being Bo.
Aww.
In May of 2007, he suffered a stroke. In August, he had a heart attack, and he died of heart failure on June 2nd, 2008.
I remember that was on the front page of the Providence Journal. We were at Nana's house, and I saw it, and it was like, bye, Bo Diddley, or, I might be remembering this, but I think they said, bye, Diddley, bye. I don't know if they did.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure. I could be misremembering.
They tried to come out with some sort of pun.
Yes.
Okay. Now, as for this CD, it's called His Best, and it lives up to the title. Now, this came out in 1997 and was a part of Chess Records' 50th Anniversary Collection Series.
Oh, okay.
Like, every artist that was on the label, they cranked out like a 20-song disc of. I know, I think Muddy Waters and Chuck Berry were the only two who had 2 volumes worth.
Well, that makes sense.
Okay.
Is Chess still around as a label, or are they gone?
I think they got sucked up as part of the Universal Music Group.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they may still, use the label as a name for their blues stuff, but as for like them still being a going concern,
No,
probably
okay.
not. So I first bought the 2 Chuck Berry volumes, but I ended up replacing those with a more comprehensive 2-disc 50-song anthology. Now, Bo was someone I'd heard of and kind of sort of may have known a song or two, if even. I mean,
Like
I
on the
was
radio or something?
aware of him and maybe might have heard like Bo Diddley, the song,
Yeah.
maybe a couple of times. So the first time I played this disc, I hated it.
Oh,
Absolutely
wow.
despised it.
Was it because he wasn't Chuck, and you were expecting something similar?
I kind of was, but
Okay.
the thing is, I never turned around to sell it at Newberry Comics or donate it to the library or
Oh, good.
put it up
Good
on
on
eBay
you.
or whatever. I just put it back on the shelf and left it there for a number of years. And it might have been quite a few years because, like I said, I think I was expecting something more rock and roll. Then one day, I remember taking a trial run drive to Westerly to find a restaurant to take your mom to for her birthday.
What restaurant was it, out of curiosity? Is it still around?
Olympia's Tea Room, which I think is still around in Westerly.
Hey, Rhode Islanders, let us know.
Yeah, it probably still is. I hope. It was really nice, and Westerly's a nice area of the state.
Westerly
and
is very nice.
That's why Taylor Swift may still have her house down there.
I thought she was in Newport, not Westerly.
No, Westerly.
Oh.
Westerly is like the hidden Newport.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
okay.
really nice.
Stay away from the
So
cars.
anyway,
Not fake nice like Newport. Newport's nice, but then it's got its bad areas that aren't as well taken care of.
oh yeah. Now, for some reason, I grabbed this disc to play in the car. I have no idea. I figured, okay, it's something I haven't heard in I don't know how many years. I'll give it a shot. And as soon as it started, I got it. It all made sense. I absolutely loved it. And it was one of those things where, like, when the student is ready.
The teacher appears.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've done that with quite a few bands where it's just, why did I buy this? But I'll still hold on to it and maybe sometime later go back to it and give it the old. That was me smacking my forehead.
Yeah.
Okay, duh, I get it.
It kind of reminds me of when we did our Cars episode, like when you were at Stone Tower and you first heard their album and you were like, this sucks!
Yeah, but that also could have been Stockholm Syndrome, identifying with your captors.
That's true. This wasn't.
No. But anyway, this collection is 20 songs presented in chronological order,
Yes.
and it has a nice informative booklet. But,
No lyrics.
well, no lyrics. But it also has, like, all the personnel who played on each song, which
Oh, that's
is
nice.
really neat. But the thing is, I found a 54-song 2-disc import Bo collection that I'm kind of thinking about getting. Like, I'm not sure yet. I don't know if it could be too much Bo. I mean, all the songs I heard sound fine. It's not in chronological order, but supposedly the sound update improvement, whatever you call it, is worth it. So I'm still thinking about it. So let's go into the song, shall we?
Before we do, though,
yeah, go ahead.
Let's talk about the design of the CD itself, which we don't have in front of us right now. But I remember when I opened it, because I was looking through the booklet and I was looking at the CD, and I just stopped and stared at it because I don't know if this was the format for all the Chess 50th anniversaries, but when you open it, it's white on top, black on the bottom, the Chess logo, and the name of the artist, and it's so pure. It's just so simple in its design, but it's like, oh, that's so cool. And that's something that you don't get nowadays because it's like you just have the digital album cover online and that's all you see. But I just like the simple CD design. I just think it's cool.
Yeah, they're all the Chess 50th anniversary ones look like that. And the thing is, speaking of the package, the cover, the photograph that they got of Bo, I would say that if they ever made the Bo Diddley story, there's only one man who can play him, and that would be Darryl McDaniels, DMC from Run DMC. Cause
do you think it could work?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. He would be perfect to play Bo.
All right. I'm down for that. Okay, let's talk about the music. Bo Diddley, title track, first one. My first thought, God, this guy can sing. Not like Carissa or anything like that, but his voice is so pleasant and easy on the ears. The sound of his guitar was a bit weird at first, but then I realized you can hear his fingers sliding down the strings, and I thought that was cool because as you could hear it, you could picture him playing his guitar in your head. Most of the songs on here are about Bo's life, at least I assume so, at least the one that's not just the story of Bo Diddley. But he's Bo, so what am I going to do, complain? However, the one part that freaked me out was Bo saying he was going to skin a goat and a cat to make a coat and a hat for his lady. Like, okay, I guess we can't afford to buy real fur, you just make one yourself. My first thought before he said...
Hey, he's the Ron Swanson of blues and rock and roll, okay?
Oh, God.
I refuse to buy a mink coat when I can go out and make my own.
Make my own, yeah. Oh, God. I hope that didn't freak out Diane too much. Tammy, too, probably found something weird to do with it. But anyway, so my first thought before he said the coat part was, maybe he's going to be like, hey, here's a baby goat for a pet. But nope. Maybe the real reason she left was because he killed those animals.
No. The lyric is that he found a nanny goat to make his baby a Sunday coat.
Yeah, but before I heard that part, I heard I got you a goat, and I was like, maybe like a pet goat. Oh, no, not a pet goat. Okay. But a bit laid back for an opening track, but I know the good stuff is coming. Like my favorites, my personal favorites.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, yes, this is his first hit, and a legend and a beat are born. Mm-hmm. I mean, I look at Bo like you say, these are autobiographical. I think it's more like I can equate Bo Diddley, the legend, up there with Paul Bunyan. He's got these tall tales.
I guess,
he's going to be the biggest, the baddest, and what have you. Now, in his New York Times obituary, the writer described his guitar sound perfectly, a watery tremolo.
I can hear that, yeah.
Yeah. Also, this song and the beat show why tom-toms were invented. The toms give it a primal feel. They hit you in the gut, but not in I think I'm going to be sick way. Mm-hmm. Once you get this beat inside you, you don't want to get it out. And who would want to? If you know people like that, stay away from them.
Yeah.
The lyrics are absurd, but does it matter? I mean...
Yeah, that's some of the case with some of these songs. It's like a couple of times, it's like the lyrics don't really matter because the music just sounds so good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I mean, I don't want to call them like nonsense rhymes or lyrics, but they kind of could be. But the thing is, it's like Bo wasn't specifically writing for teenagers. He was writing for...
whatever the hell he wanted.
Yeah, for grown-ups, I guess, or just probably for himself. Yeah, which is fine. I mean, his thing is like he does get, I don't want to say lumped in with founders of rock and roll, even though he is one. Mm-hmm. He's more... Bluesy, yeah. Yeah.
Because I was about to say, I always thought he was like a rock and roll person as a kid, and I'm listening to it now, and I'm like, not really.
Well, you got to figure, I mean, at that time, 1955, rock and roll was still being born or created.
Yeah, but this isn't really rockabilly either.
No. But it's definitely its own thing.
Yes. All right, next song. I'm a Man. One word for this song, masculine. The best part of the song is easily the instruments. Do-do-do-do-do. Over.
That's all you need.
Over and over, because simplicity is everything. He has so much swagger in this song, so much that there's a line of ladies waiting to get a piece of him. But I don't get the sense he's a player. Like, he's gonna give these women the night of their lives and woo them with his guitar. And not gonna lie, the first time he did like that, or whatever it was, I thought, ooh.
I'll make love to you, baby, in an hour's time.
He can play, he can write, he can sing, triple threat, full package. Case closed.
Okay. Now, Muddy Waters covered this song and called it Manish Boy.
Oh,
but
how did Muddy sound doing it?
more badass than Bo, believe it or not.
Oh,
but
okay.
Bo got a writing credit.
Oh, that's good.
Which is good. So again, Bo builds on his legend, and it's not like he's bragging, he's just stating the facts.
Yeah, it's
if
like,
that
I'm
makes
a man.
sense. Now, this arrangement is so stripped down that it makes the song before that, Bo Diddley, sound like Sgt. Pepper.
Yeah, I get the analogy, but...
No, I mean, it's just so stripped down. It's just that... for about 2.5 to 3 minutes,
That's
and
all
that's
you need.
all you need.
Yeah.
And he's like you said, it's like manly Bo, and this is a statement of purpose, and
Again, this is a Ron Swanson song.
it is.
Like,
It's
Ron
like
could walk into Pawnee with this playing behind him and be like, yo, I want to work for that guy. All right, next song. You Don't Love Me, parentheses, You Don't Care. Oh, I do. This one's okay. Again, the instruments just shine on every track here. The guitar, the harmonica, and the piano all play really well against each other. Whoever produced Bo knew how to get a great sound from him. And it's also interesting how the past two songs ended with this echoing, where most of the sound fades out except for Bo's voice.
Yeah.
And you can almost see him standing in front of the microphone in the studio. Like, you could picture it. At first, I was irritated with Bo, how Bo kept repeating, you don't love me, over and over, like, okay, guy, we get it. But then I realized it's because those words are all he can hear in his head, because he loves this woman so much, and he just can't bear it not being reciprocated. This one's okay, but the next song is gonna be fun.
Okay.
Because I saw the title track, and I was like, yay!
Now, what I've been doing with like all these songs, and I've been doing it for like a couple of episodes that we've done. I found this website that has the lyrics to almost every single song out there.
Yeah, Genius AZ lyrics.
No, this is not Genius.
Is it the purple one?
It's the purple one.
It's the purple one.
Okay, yeah, it's the purple
Yeah.
one. I can't remember its name. But it took me a while to find this song, the lyrics, because they didn't have it under You Don't Love Me. They had it under You Don't Care, and they had You Don't Love Me in the parentheses.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it
I
is.
guess someone done goofed.
Anyway, I found this song unusual in that both a harmonica and a piano get solos as opposed to a guitar. Now, it's funny, towards the end of the piano solo, you hear what sounds like feedback. It's just this like sustained sound, but then it turns out that it's the harmonica sustaining this note
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
before
about.
joining the piano. And there's no Bo Diddley beat on this song, but, it's not a problem at all. And the thing I find about this song that's hard to believe is that, Bo's woman left him for someone else. It's like, girl, you crazy? it's like we're talking Bo Diddley here. Come on.
Well, I think we'll get into Bo's romantic life later, because there was one song where I went on Wikipedia and I found out some shit, or I may have.
Oh.
I don't know. We'll get there when we get there.
Okay.
All right, but anyway, next song, Diddly Daddy. Okay, the chorus of this song is just so fun to sing. Diddly 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 daddy, and then the
Diddly diddly dum 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 diddly.
All right. Hope we don't get sued. And the way the harmonica seems to moan is just the icing on the cake. And the story is simple too. Bo goes after girl kisses another guy and regrets it, and she wants to know where she and Bo stand. But the song doesn't end with an answer to the question, like no, outright yes or no. And it's a bit of a tease with how Bo keeps you guessing, but you do get the sense that everything worked out for the best at the end. Whether or not the best means they ended up together, that's for them to know, and never for us to find out, unfortunately. This song seems autobiographical anyway, with how Bo refers to going to the Windy City to meet her. So maybe this was the one story he didn't want told in its entirety.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
Now, apparently you just did this, but I was going to say, okay, you try singing the title as fast as the background singers do. But you did, so that's very
I think
that's
it's
very
because it's
impressive.
been ingrained in me since I'm a kid, so I'm like, la 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 la.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's because, like, if you hear songs that are done really fast at an early age, when your brain is just primed for, like, remembering lyrics over and over, then you get it. That's how I still know we didn't start the fire after all these years after having done it in 5th grade
Yeah.
for history.
I mean, as for me, I was a lot older, and it took me a while to not trip over my own tongue to get that diddly 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 daddy out, just to get it out of my mouth. Anyway, I still find that very impressive that they're doing that through almost the whole song.
Yeah.
Okay, and it has a nice shuffle beat. And again, it's not a Bo Diddley beat; it's something different. And I looked at this song as once again Bo's, builds on his legend. She says, "Bo Diddley, you a natural born man," and yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He was not made in the laboratory, folks.
No.
Now, 20% of the songs on this collection have his name in the title.
Yeah. I don't mind though.
No, not at all. No, it ain't bragging if you done it.
Exactly. Next song. Pretty Thing, or as he says it, Pretty Thing.
Yes, that's what I said. It's called Pretty Thing, but it's pronounced Purty Thing.
Yeah. I love how this song is doing a call and response with Bo singing first and the instruments repeating the notes. And once again, Bo's songs are so damn catchy because he lets the audience sing along with him after each lyric, and not to mention, "Oh, you pretty thing." That's always catchy to sing too. Now, my theory is this song would be a fun choice for a wedding, or at least something to play during a proposal. I want to go to that wedding. It'd be so much fun. Something tells me the food would be really good too. Bo knows how to charm the women, and you get the feeling she said yes, so congrats!
Yep. Now, the diddly beat is in full force on this song.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so in your face. And this song was written by Willie Dixon, who played bass on a lot of blues songs for Chess Records. And he just wrote, like, the big blues songs, like the really famous ones. Like, so big that he was able to sue Led Zeppelin years later for, "Hey, you guys are stealing my stuff. You need to give me credit."
Did he win?
He won.
Good for him.
Yep. Now, this song is also responsible for giving the British band The Pretty Things their name. They never really made it huge in America. I don't know if it was a timing thing or what, but really popular over in Europe and Australia and other...
Do you have their stuff?
No, I don't, because I cannot name one song by them. I'm sure there are people out there who, are fans who know them a lot better than I do.
Sorry to our UK listeners out there, if we have any.
Quite sorry.
All right, next song?
Bring it to Jerome.
Yeah. So my first note, yes, Bo, sustain that opening note, because he just lets it hang there in the air, and I'm like, okay, keep going.
Yep.
All right, so this might show the... I have a question, and maybe this is the last shred of my innocence remaining talking.
Oh, no. Am I going to stomp all over it?
No, because again, I didn't know who Jerome was before you said who he was. So my question is the woman sending Jerome money or something more? Yeah. Because it sounds like money at first, but then I'm like, well, they're adults, so it could be she's giving him something that's worth more than money.
Her lovin'.
Yeah.
Bring it to Jerome.
Yeah.
There's always that "it" in rock and roll. It in rock and roll is huge. It could mean anything.
Okay. All right. Or maybe both? Because, honey, if you think you can get away with sending another man money, you are definitely going to get caught. Follow the money, find the fraud, except there's no fraud being committed here, but you get my point. Follow the money, you're going to get caught. I like how the arrangement of this song has Bo singing most of it, then we cut to Jerome, and we find out he's pissed too, because this girl is lying to him as well. I don't hate the men here if that's the case. This girl's the one who's messed up here. I hope they dump her and they find better women who won't marry them.
Now,
it's true.
The world's greatest maracas player, sorry, Davy Jones, gets co-lead on this one. Yeah, Bo sings, a couple of verses first, then Jerome comes in, and then they kind of end up sharing a little bit. And what happens to Jerome? Like you said, he's getting disrespected by his woman, and probably other ones too, because he said, "All you pretty women's."
It's rock and roll, baby.
Yep. But he won't hurt you none. So come on, he's Jerome.
Yeah. He's fine.
He's
safe.
He's the Robin to Bo's Batman. No, there's got to be something better than that.
Watson to Holmes? No.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
It's kind of like his foil, I suppose.
Oh, a foil. Who's like a dynamic duo that's like where it's like they play off each other well because they're polar opposites? Oh, who are those two comedians you told me about? Burns and Allen, or something? You told me about these two comedians where one was like the straight guy and the other one was just totally nuts, but they worked together.
Oh, Burns and Schreiber, yeah.
Burns and Schreiber, yeah.
Yeah, that could be.
Anyway, all right.
Well, and I mean, I just thought of like an 80s example, which would be Morris Day of the Time, and he had his foil, whose name was also Jerome, who like Morris would like pretty himself up, and Jerome would come out on stage with like this carrying this huge mirror so Morris could like do his hair and look good. They were hilarious. Routine. They were the best thing in Purple Rain. Anyway.
Okay, next song. I'm Looking for a Woman. This song feels kind of like the aftermath of Bring It to Jerome, where Bo is looking for a woman that'll stick by him, and instead he finds one who's heartless and very rude, probably some rich city snoot. But I like how Bo doesn't stick around desperately. He just says, all right, you're lost. I'm going to find someone better. Good for him. This song tells the story pretty concisely and wraps it up in the span of 2 minutes. Not too long, not too short, just right. I also wonder if this very rude woman was based on someone Bo knew. So if that's the case, she must have eaten so much crow when she saw how famous he became. So to whoever that is,
Yeah, I looked at it kind of the same way as you did. Bo meets a woman and tells her what he likes, and I think her reply is hilarious. She said, "Get away from here, country boy. Go back to your countryside." And I thought, God knows what he said to elicit that type of response.
Yeah.
It could have been something nasty. But yeah, like at the end, he decides, you had me, you lost me.
Yeah, case closed.
Case closed. Bo's Bo. He will find someone else. He's going to be all right. Don't you worry about him.
Well, maybe not. Again, what I found. All right, next one. Who do you love? Sideshow Bob! Oh, wait, that's whom do you love? Never mind. Anyway, back to the song. As a kid, all I paid attention to was the chorus. Who do you love? But I listened to the rest of the verses, and oh man, this guy is crazy. He's got a chimney made of a human skull, and he wears a cobra for a necktie. I think the neighbors need to call the police. And then him asking this girl if she loves him seems to be kind of a threat. Like, if you don't, I'll take your skull too. And when she says she understands, I was taken aback. It's like on that show I watch, You, where the serial killer finds this girl who's as crazy as he is. But in this situation, maybe it's more like I'll say whatever I have to say to stay alive. So hang in there, girl. The cavalry's coming to get you.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I've looked at this as not one of Bo's greatest songs ever, but just one of the greatest songs ever.
Aww.
I mean, because Bo was such a badass right from the outset. Like, I walked 47 miles of barbed wire. I use a cobra snake for a necktie. I got a brand new house on the roadside made from rattlesnake hide. I got a brand new chimney made on top, made out of human skull. Now come on, take a walk with me, Arlene, and tell me, who do you love? But the thing is, like, the one thing that gets me is later he veers off to that verse about an ice wagon that is just plain mysterious that I don't get. I mean,
wait.
Because, like, he sees something, but he doesn't say exactly what it is, and it's just left up to you to figure out what the heck happened. But it's just like, he gets to that chorus of, who do you love? Who? It's just, you could just play that all day. But it's so great.
Now, I know, like, an ice wagon is like the guy who comes around and brings the ice.
Right.
But also, if we're looking for something creepy here, when you ice someone, that means they're dead. So the death wagon, like in Monty Python, bring out your dead.
I think you may be reaching a little
too much.
Too much.
Right.
But yeah, this is just, I wish I could explain it. I wish I had the words to explain it, but like I hear this song and it's just one of the greatest songs that will ever be made.
All right, next one. Hey, Bo Diddley.
What?
Another song where the chorus is catchy as hell. Hey, Bo Diddley. And there's a call and response that allows you to sing along.
Bo Diddley.
Yep. I love how in this song you can hear the Duchess sing. And no. Not just Duchess, the Duchess, which I think is so cool. I thought it was so cool Bo had a woman playing bass as a kid. Another song about Bo and his women with one crazy next door neighbor. But I will say that those other lyrics lose their impact on you because they get buried with the chorus. But I don't care. I could listen to that chorus forever and ever. Like, the whole song could be like that and I'd be happy.
No, I think Bo starts off this song hilariously, almost like Old MacDonald had a farm.
E-I-E-I-O.
On that farm, he had some women here, women there, women everywhere. And then
Bo Diddley had a farm.
It kind of does sound like that, yes.
E-I-E-I-O.
It kind of does sound like that. And then he sings about this woman who sounds almost as legendary as he does. She can rustle and tussle like Buffalo Bill, and she has a pistol and sword by her side. So, and it's like, so she drives up to his house, knocks on his door, he's not home. She leaves, then he eventually sees her and calls out, and she gets away, as legends must.
Off into the sunset.
But just, that catchy, hey, Bo Diddley.
Yep.
Oh,
Bo Diddley.
Thank you, was trying to get a response. But yeah, it's just like this great tall tale, just building on the legend of Bo Diddley.
Yeah.
Disney should do a cartoon. Because they did Paul Bunyan, they did John Henry, they did Pecos Bill. They need to do a Bo Diddley.
Well, I did
About
talk
20
about
minutes or
cartoons
so.
later, yeah, but I don't know. I think Disney would ruin it. If it was old Disney, then yeah. New Disney,
Well, they're more PC now, so they would strive to get it right.
I'll send you Lindsay Ellis's video about quote-unquote woke Disney, and why it's not
okay.
that good. All right, next song, Mona, a.k.a. I Need You Baby. Isn't there another song named Mona? One that's kind of like a soft, easy rock ballad?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't call it so. Yeah, kind of, sort of. NRBQ does it.
Okay, that's what I've heard from. Well, this song is simple. Bo loves a woman named Mona and wants to get married. And when I say he wants her with all that moaning. It also makes me want to know if Mona was a real person, like so many other songs on here that may or may not be autobiographical. The ones that are, however, really are. Not too much to say about this one other than I like him talking about how his heart goes bumpity bump, but I have a feeling that's not the only thing, given how desperate he is.
And again, this song has what the Times called that watery tremolo effect on his guitar. And, like, I gotta say, when I hear this song Mona and the other song Mona, you know who I think of?
Mona Acavino?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Mona. If you're listening. Now, I think the lyrics in this are interesting because Bo does not want to live with her. He just wants to build a house next to her and kiss her through the blinds. So it's like commitment without committing, I
Marrying
guess.
someone a little, like Stephen Sondheim said. It's basically like a song where it's like, I want to marry you, but on my terms. So marry me a little, but like not all the way.
Yeah, don't be around when I don't need you.
Sort of keep a tender distance so we'll both be free is one of the lyrics.
Is this kind of like what we nowadays call friends with benefits?
Marriage with benefits.
Marriage with benefits.
That would be that's.
Well, isn't that kind of a given?
No, but it's like, how do I explain?
Kind of
this?
like an opposite thing where it's like the benefits would be, yeah, I'm gonna take a week off.
Sort of, but like we're married, but we don't live in the same house together. I know some people do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, once again, the Bo beat really makes its presence known in this song. And, yeah, he really wants her.
Yeah.
He really wants her bad. But just enough to live next door, kiss her through the blinds, and then, you know, blinds back down. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Call you maybe a day or two.
Yeah. All right, next song. Before You Accuse Me. This title had me apprehensive right away, like, of what? But I like this song because it calls out hypocrisy. You can't claim I'm cheating when you're the one cheating on me. And you can almost feel the girl realizing she's been caught as the song progresses. However, what makes the song ambiguous is that Bo never admits to whether or not he cheated as well, and I find that fascinating. I don't think he did, but the fact he never flat out says no is why I say I think he did, not I know he did. The song just goes on for way too long, though. It's very bluesy, but I caught myself zoning out because he was just saying the same things over and over. It's like...
That's the blues, baby.
But this whole scenario is like, it's like when you're the single friend and your two other friends are both dating and they get in a fight right in front of you, so you just tune it out by getting a drink or playing Angry Birds on your phone like, I'm not here. I like Bo better when he's more upbeat or at least singing with some swagger, not being pissed off and dragging it out for all to see.
But yeah, I mean, it's good advice before you accuse me. Take a look at yourself. And yeah, maybe he did something, but maybe he did it because she did it first.
Yeah, like
so
Patty Boyd with George Harrison.
Explain.
She found out that George Harrison was cheating on her.
Oh, was this with Maureen?
With Maureen. So then she went out and had her own affair with one of the members of the Rolling Stones.
Oh, really? I thought it was...
The guy whose name starts with R.
Oh, man, at the time it was, let's see.
Ron.
Oh, Ron Wood?
He was not
with the Stones at that time.
well,
We're talking like 70s?
70s, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it's 70s,
Yeah.
it's a good possible. Well,
Yeah.
he joined in 75.
Yeah, so like after she found out about that, she went off with Eric, and then I guess at one point she had a fling with Ronnie Wood at some point.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
that okay, that's doable.
Yeah.
That's doable.
But anyway.
If it's 1975 or after, it definitely happened.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, like, I think it's a good blues tune. It's definitely more bluesy than rock and roll. Definitely not a problem. And like I said before, that's the thing about Bo. He was more blues than rock and roll, but it's kind of like it's sort of like alchemy, where he's like combining these two elements and coming up with gold, baby. He's coming up with gold.
It's gold, Jerry. Gold!
Unfortunately, not a lot of people bought it. But,
aw.
well, on the R rhythm and blues charts, he did fine.
All right. Next song. Say, man. Boy, if you thought the previous song was awkward, that was nothing compared to listening to this. This time, it feels like you're at a party and one of your friends get drunk and messes with one of your friends who's sober, and you know the drunk friend is going to totally ruin the night. This isn't really a song so much as a stream of consciousness, but also some of the most savage burns I have ever heard in my life. Quote, your girlfriend is so ugly she needs to sneak up on a glass to get water, and you're so ugly that the stork who brought you into this world should be arrested. God damn.
You look like you got beat. You look like you got whooped with an ugly stick.
Yeah.
Which he used to hear on Red Fox say on Sanford and Son back in the 70s.
Oh, okay. Which is that's the American version of the English show Stepford and Son.
Toe.
Steptoe. Sorry.
Let's get back to the music, shall we?
Anyway, but other than some beautiful insults, what the hell is the point of this song? I feel like someone accidentally recorded the band while they were in a jam session, and if I didn't know any better, I'd call this padding. Maybe Bo predicted the trend of musicians padding their records with skits and half-baked ideas on CDs, even though CDs didn't exist back then. But anyway, this track is so weird, and I want to know how the hell Bo cooked this up. Maybe he was high or something.
No. This is something called The Dozens.
Okay.
It's kind of like a game where it's like you'd have two people who would insult each other. Uh-huh. And it was like you would try and see, like, could you outdo the other person?
So Bo decided that he would record
Well, it's
that?
like it's kind of like a traditional thing among our African American community and other communities as well. Mm-hmm. Possibly our Caucasian confused. Yeah. Anyway, it's kind of like those things about, like, your mama's this, your mama's so fat that when she sits around the house, she sits around the house. Oh, yeah, well, your mama's so fat, she got her own zip code. That kind of thing.
Your mama's so fat when she got on the scale, the doctor went, whoa, that's my phone number.
That's great.
Yeah.
Or your mama's so fat when she got on the scale said, hey, one at a time.
Or your mama's so fat when she gets on the elevator, she has to go down.
That's great. But yeah, it's kind of like that. Let's say you got two people just trying to outdo each other. It's like good-natured, and then probably when it's over, they just, the guns come out. Mm-hmm. No, probably not.
Not literally. No.
But the thing is, like, I cannot believe that this song was Bo's only top 40 hit. It just boggles my mind.
Why this one?
I don't know. Huh. I don't know. And even then, it was like in the lower reaches. Now, you'd think it would be like Bo Diddley or Who Do You Love? I mean, those are songs
or maybe I'm a Man or something.
Those are songs that are going to live forever. Not Say Man.
Yeah,
I mean, I have nothing against this song. It's just a hilarious string of put downs, and they're trying to outdo each other. And I love that line about, you so ugly, you have to slip up on the glass to get a drink of water. Mm-hmm. That kind of thing. But it's Bo versus Jerome, but come on, I think Bo deserved better. Mm. And the thing is, like, Bo's laugh in this song reminds me of Vavoo's laugh. Mine.
He sounded like Vavoo?
Yeah, he sounds just like him. More on that later.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. Okay.
Nothing bad.
All right, okay, next song. Dearest Darling. So as far as songs about women on this album go, this seems to be one of Bo's more innocent songs that isn't totally rooted in sexual desire. And this song piqued my curiosity because Bo sings about women a lot. It got me curious. Are all these songs about the same girl, or is he a bit of a philanderer? So I went on good old Wikipedia and found out that he was married 4 times.
Oh, yeah.
Which, oof, but it didn't say whether his marriages were bad. Then again, his first one only lasted a year, so that couldn't have been good.
Yeah, because I think they were, like, really...
He was 18.
Yeah.
This song was weird for me to listen to, though, because when Bo talks about sharing a heart, all I could see is the scene from the show Mom and I watched Once Upon a Time, where Snow White splits her heart in half to revive a dying Prince Charming. Like, I know people mean sharing a heart figuratively, but when you watch a show where people's hearts are ripped out of their chests all the time, you begin to think literally. Also, a disclaimer, do not rip out people's hearts. Once Upon a Time is just a TV show. Anyway, this song doesn't stand out against all of Bo's women's songs, but I guess we know which one he preferred since her name became a title track.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I look at this as like, I like the way how it starts off where he's just like, dearest darling. Yeah. It's like, he's definitely licking his chops, and then he just goes in this, like this, like, sweet, almost angelic. Down. Yeah. It's kind of like you're getting.
Okay, rein it in, buddy. Like,
yeah, exactly. And I just think it's a great song about devotion that you can dance to. And my favorite lines are, I once had a heart so true and true, but now it's gone from me to you. Take care of it like I have done, for you have two hearts and I have none.
Oh.
Yeah, because he
That's
gave
dark.
his to, no, he gave his to her.
Yeah.
That's devotion, baby.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
All right, next song. Cracking Up. Okay, let me just preface this by saying this woman seems like a real jerk, and I don't like how she's complaining about Bo since he's doing the cooking and the cleaning, and she's just nagging him all day. However, I think I know what she wants Bo to do. She wants to be spoiled again, because Bo said he used to, but now that he doesn't anymore, she's complaining and complaining. But if you're constantly complaining, then honey, you don't deserve any indulgences. You also get the sense that Bo is doing the cooking and cleaning not as a way to share the housework or out of a sense of equity, but because this woman just won't do anything. Like, honey, I get it. You want a man who will take care of you and provide, but you gotta put away the dishes and help keep a house. I'm all for men helping out with chores at home, but I don't want him to be doing it while she sits there and does nothing. Also makes me question if this song was based on a domestic spat Bo had with one of his 4 wives. Although at first I wondered if this song was Bo Diddley taking care of his elderly mom, and she's complaining about the way her son does things, but that seemed like a bit of a stretch.
I never thought of it that way before, but
Yeah.
I could buy that version. It kind of has like a Latin beat to it almost, and hilarious lyrics as always. I used to do your cooking, your laundry too. Now, what more for a woman could a man like me do? And it's interesting that you said like before he was like buying her all these things.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, well, eventually you're probably gonna run out of money. You can't afford to do that, so you try to, show your
Oh, okay.
true love in other ways, or it could be like, the dating phase, like yeah, and then the married phase, like yeah.
Did you go through that with mom?
Oh, of course not. No, it's like you get into, it's like when you're dating, it's kind of like you're on your best, both people are on their best behavior, you see the best of each other. When you get married, you're living together with each other every day, and you've got to do those day-to-day things to get through.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of responsibilities. Like you've got the 3 meals a day that you got to make. You've got to do the, cleaning, washing, cooking. You've got all those things to get through, and you can kind of lose track of things once in a while. So that's why you kind of remember, oh yeah, I still love you, and here's a thing to show my appreciation or my love or what have you. It could be like something like, it could be flowers. It could be just like something simple, like maybe, hey, I'll make your favorite meal, or I'll do this.
It's funny you mentioned though that you see who a person really is when you're married to them, because there was a study that was found out on NPR where it's like married couples are seeing, now that people are working at home, spouses are seeing what their other spouse is really like from 9 to 5 with how they treat their coworkers, and they're learning, oh my god, my husband's a dick.
And they said also that the divorce rate has risen even more. Which, do you divorce online these days, or
You divorce over Zoom.
Oh, okay. I guess you could do that. I guess you could probably do that.
Yeah, I guess.
And you just need your electronic signature here on the papers, and we'll make it final.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you can't really move out because, like, the moving companies, I think, are closed, right? Or like...
I don't know, unless they're all wearing masks and, they got their bottles of spray stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, next song.
Anyway.
The Story of Bo Diddley. So weirdly enough, the first time I googled the lyrics, the version that popped up was The Story of Bo Diddley by the band The Animals.
Yes.
Which I thought was kind of weird, but I guess they were Bo fans, so that's cool that they want to tell a story. But that's not the version I wanted, so I did some digging, and I thought I found the right version on Genius Lyrics. So things are proceeding normally so far.
Yep,
You
yep,
know where I'm
yep,
going with this.
yep.
The lyrics online match up with what Bo's singing, and then the lyrics start to become the lyrics from the Animals song. Know how I know? They mention Bob Dylan, and Bo doesn't mention Bob Dylan once. Get together, Internet. What the hell? But I do like how Bo says he was born with a golden guitar, because you could tell he knew from an early age he was going to be a big deal, but you don't have the sense he was narcissistic about it, not boastful or arrogant, just sure of himself, and that's a very healthy mindset to have. Yet I guess I expected the song to be more detailed, because I've heard Chuck Berry's song Bio, and that track is long, but I don't mind because Berry is spinning a yarn and you really want to hear his story. But this bio feels like Bo isn't ready to disclose everything about his life just yet. With great success comes great paranoia that people will find out who you really are behind the thin veneer of fame. Luckily, that's why we have Dad giving the background information at the beginning of the show. It also makes me want to hear the Animals version too, because the lyrics seem chock full of details, and you get the sense that while they're fans, that maybe the documentation will be slightly more unbiased since they didn't live Bo's life, so they can just report the facts.
The story of Bo Diddley, yeah, it's more of like, again, building on the legend of Bo.
Yeah.
I mean, Chuck Berry's bio song, that is all true. That is
Yes.
very autobiographical and very interesting. The song lives up to the title, and he's the killer diller, and the girls like him. And again, his laugh reminds me of Vavô, which is Portuguese for grandfather, so we're talking about my grandfather
And
here.
it's like the endearing version of it too, Vavô.
Yeah, the formal version would be Avô.
Yeah.
And when I hear this song, I can easily imagine Vavô and Bo hanging out, swapping stories, and laughing like crazy.
Oh, and Vavô's catching pigeons in the backyard for lunch.
And they've got the Portuguese homemade wine, and they are just like
going at it.
laughing at the world
Vavô
going.
rides in on it. Oh my god!
Laughing at the world going by.
You know something I just realized? You know that photo of Vavô we have where he rides in on his horse down the
Yeah.
street? That's like Bhagavat Antal on the elephant in Tiger King.
Oh my
When
god.
he rides in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh, God.
now now I noticed in the booklet that comes with this set, it said that Eric Burden of the Animals got a songwriting credit for this. It's credit to both him and Bo. Now the thing is, this song, Bo's song, came out in 1959.
Yeah.
The Animals version came out in 1965.
Have you heard the Animals version?
Yes.
Is it bad?
I don't like it.
Okay.
It's one of these talking things where, like, the band's playing and Eric Burns like, we're going to tell you this story. Da, 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 da. I'm like,
That
no,
sounds
you're
boring.
not. Yeah.
That's
No,
boring.
you're not. Just leave Bo alone. But I guess since they were able to build on it, I don't know the background if they went to Bo or Bo went to them and he said, hey, I'll give you, credit for expanding on this, and I'm sure that the Animals version got Bo some more much needed cash. I hope
good.
for his sake.
Yeah.
But yeah, I listened to it and I just did not care for it. And this thing goes on for like about 7 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. All right, next song, Roadrunner. Fun fact, if you go on YouTube, someone made a music video with this song playing behind some classic Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote cartoons. And it's not that bad, but some clever editing could make the song sync up with the animation a little bit more.
Yeah.
However, the cartoons illustrate the point that if your guy's a Roadrunner, you will never, ever catch up with him.
And you'll probably get blown up with dynamite, or a rock will fall on you, or you'll get run over by a truck.
Long story short, you'll get hurt.
Or
Yeah.
earthquake pills.
Yeah.
Not effective on roadrunners.
I think Roadrunner is the best analogy for a hit-and-run guy, though. He'll only stop for a bit of bird seed, but once he's all good and fed, it's back to running. And the best part of the song is the background going doo-doo-doo-doo, beep beep. I guess they couldn't say meep meep without getting sued, but
Beep, beep.
yeah, that's better. That's
Thank
better.
you.
But I think Warner Brothers missed an opportunity by not taking this song and making a cartoon with it. Maybe it wouldn't have worked for the cartoons of the 60s and 50s, but I could see them doing it now with making that cartoon for Animaniacs where adult jokes can fly more.
Yeah.
I love this song, and hey, it reminds me of a great cartoon series, so what else can I say? And Animaniacs, the reboot, is supposed to come on Hulu or Netflix some point in 2020. So hey, animators, if you're looking for an idea, I'm just saying.
Oh, I hope it's Netflix.
I hope it's Netflix, but if it's Hulu, we have our ways.
Yeah.
We have our ways.
Now, being the pain in the butt that I am,
Oh, brother.
in the booklet, the CD booklet that comes with this,
Yes.
it says that this song probably inspired the cartoon. It's the other way
cartoon came
around.
first.
Yeah, this song came out in 1960, and the first Roadrunner cartoon was either 46 or 47.
So Bo was inspired by the cartoon.
Other way around, yeah. And I just love the line about, I'm going to put some dirt in your eye. I just think that's hilarious.
Well, yeah,
because you
eat
can
the
imagine
dust.
him doing it. Yeah, eat my dust.
And also, you see the Roadrunner's dust whenever he runs in the cartoon.
Yeah, and I like how the guitar simulates the Roadrunner running.
Yes, at the beginning.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can see him running and then his tongue flicking out, making that noise.
I think the way that's made is like you take the guitar pick and you just run it down the length of the string.
I can see that working, yeah.
Because it's got the string has these ridges on it, these microscopic ridges.
Yes.
Because
And then you hear that.
Mike C did that when he thought he wanted to play guitar for a living or something.
Oh.
And he had this record, Learn to Play Guitar with Adventures. And that was one of the things he showed me, making that sound. I thought, that's pretty cool.
That's cool.
But yeah, I just love this song, and it's definitely, it's definitely the Bo legend in convenient cartoon animal form.
Yeah.
And it's totally believable.
Can you do the Roadrunner noise again?
Meep, meep.
Yeah, he does it really good.
That also can substitute for a Volkswagen car horn, by the way.
I guess it could, yeah. All right, next song. Pills. I used to sing this song all the time, only I thought the title of it was To My Head, since he says that over and over.
I could see that.
Yeah. This also shows me how naive I was as a kid, because I thought this song was about Bo getting pills that were too strong for him while he was in the hospital. And then I realized she's giving him a different form of medicine that he enjoys at first, but then he wises up and says, all right, cut the shit. Am I going to get better or aren't I? Like, I don't want this junk that's going to pollute my body and do more harm than good. I want the real stuff that'll actually make me feel better. Just don't let the people who use crystals and stuff hear this song, because that'll just empower them more. Anyway, good song, and it brings back great memories of singing along to this in the car.
Yeah, this poor Bo in his hospital bed, subject to the rock and roll nurse's tender mercies.
And he's just like, Doctor!
When he sings the line, I'm taking this junk against my will, you can believe him. When David Johansen sang that line in the New York Dolls cover, you just did not. Because it was almost like, no, you're definitely taking this junk for your will. Anyway, but yeah, I think this is a hilarious song. And it's funny that it's the rock and roll nurse who seems to be abusing him.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's like blues versus rock and roll kind of thing, or what, or like the rock and roll nurse, like rock and rollers are these teenagers and they have no idea what's going on. And
okay.
He needs more of like a grown up to
needs a woman.
Yeah, to give him the right prescription, as it were.
All right.
But I think it's a hilarious song. It just cracks me up. That's the one thing about a lot of Bo songs on here. They just make me laugh.
Yeah. All right. Next song. I can tell. You can tell what? So the most important thing that needs to be discussed here is the change in Bo's voice. That was like a jolt to the system. It sounds more matured, like fine-aged whiskey in a barrel. So I wasn't really paying attention to the lyrics this time around, just at this robust quality of sound that was just flowing from his mouth. I don't know if it was like he decided one day to take voice lessons out of the blue, or maybe quitting drinking or smoking, but whatever he did, sounds great. The lyrics are just rehashes of previous tracks. The girl doesn't love him anymore, he calls the family who confirms it, but this time he says he wants to cook and clean for her, and that made me sad, because she'll still not love him, and he'll just be no better than a servant to her, which is messed up to think about. Not too much else to say here, but to reiterate, what a voice, goddamn.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it sounds like he's really singing. I mean, he's definitely singing before, but yeah, there's definitely a change in the voice. It's deeper and almost kind of mellow in a way, if that makes sense. It's not as brash, I suppose.
I guess.
Now, there's a line in the lyrics that says, "You've been running with a heartbreaker child around, but I swear all these years, and I will stake my reputation?
Yeah.
Maybe life on it." That I swear he's really singing that you're running with a heartbreaker Charlie Brown. Because I listened to it and listened to it and listened to it over and over, because I wanted to make sure that I got it right, that I wasn't just imagining it.
That sounds like something they'd say in a cartoon. You're running with a heartbreaker, Charlie Brown.
I guess, or it's Bo's way of saying, he's this loser. You're running around with a heartbreaker Charlie Brown.
Oh, poor Charlie Brown.
Because I found the lyrics on that Purple website.
Purple website, yeah.
Thank you, yeah. And I looked and I thought, no, that's not what he's singing. And got the headphones out and listened to it over and over, and it's really tough to tell.
Does anyone else hear this? Let us know in the comments if you agree with, if you hear what Dad hears, or if you hear what's printed on the page.
Even if you don't agree with me, I agree with me. So sometimes that's enough. Either way, like I said, he's been dumped, and he will do anything to get her back, even cook her food and wash her clothes, and that's love, baby. Or desperation.
That's probably desperation, yeah. I'll do anything, baby. I'll do anything you want me to do. And it's like, but Bo, she'll never love you.
Yeah. So, folks, if you find yourself making those kind of promises, you really need to step back and realize
if it's worth it.
Yeah, I shouldn't be with this person, and just make like a roadrunner, baby.
And get out of there.
Meep, meep.
All right, next song. You can't judge a book by its cover. All right, let's talk about this adage for a second. We all know what it means, but has anyone ever really seen like a bad book cover that dissuades them from buying it? Like, I've seen a few bad ones, but the author's name was enough to get me to flip through it at Barnes & Noble. Then again, I've also seen some book covers with great covers
Yes.
where the contents were dull.
And they suck.
So, yeah, sometimes you truly can't judge a book by its cover. Yeah. Like, for this one book, it was, like, The Science of Harry Potter. And it was, like, talking about how maybe we can make the stuff that's magic happen in real life with science. And the cover was cool. Nope, book sucked. What book was it for you?
Oh, man, too many. Too many to pick from.
All right. But back to the song. But generally, most books with great covers have great stories inside, too. Also, I would argue that you can judge a woman by looking at her man, because sometimes a person's choice in partner says a lot about what that person values or what they think about themselves and the kind of person they think they deserve. I liked the song better when I was a kid, but I think I don't like it as much now because it's just Bo listing off multiple sayings that convey the same message while trying to sound clever, and it gets a little tiresome after a while, so yeah, not my favorite.
Yeah, but he's
anymore.
trying to make a point that I look like a farmer, but I'm a lover.
Yeah, but it's like
You
we already
can't
got
judge,
that point after like the umpteenth lyric, Bo.
Well,
We get it.
I don't know. I think,
And listen, if you hadn't established you were a lover before, we have all these other songs before it proving that you are.
Well, maybe he met a woman who never heard of him. It's possible.
Yeah.
You never know.
Right,
Okay.
nowadays it's more possible
Hey,
back then.
I look at this. It's good advice and it's good tune. It's a good tune, and I like the lines. Oh, come on in closer, baby. Hear what I got to say. You got your radio turned down too low. Turn it up, which is also good advice.
Yeah, turn up your radio, yeah.
Yeah. And did you pick up the guitar mistake at 2 minutes and 27 seconds in?
No, there's a mistake?
Yeah, it seems like someone forgot what key the song was in, but then they make a quick recovery.
Oh, I think I might have heard that now that you say something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But no, I never really had a problem with this song, and yeah, it's one of those things where it's kind of obvious, but sometimes you really need to think about those things which seem obvious, because it's like, yeah, that book stunk.
All right, final song. Ooh, baby. All right. I love that opening guitar, like with the descending notes and how you could hear them being played one by one. This song let me down so hard. It sounded so soulful and sensual, and I was like, all right, seduce me. I'm ready for it. Let's go. And then Bo starts whining about how his woman doesn't love him anymore. Dadgummit, again? Bo, enough is enough. I've heard you complain about women leaving you too much for too long, and I am mentally exhausted. Go talk to a therapist instead of your audience. I don't want to hear about your relationship troubles anymore. Maybe all this complaining is why they left, or I got teased just like they did. Don't give me soulful backup singers to underscore your whining. That's not cool, man. I was very irritated and very put out. I was like, all right, I'm ready. Seduce me, seduce me. Aw, man.
Wow.
I was just so let down.
Wow. Wow. Well, I actually like the female chorus.
Yeah, I do too. They're very good. They're very good.
They were called the Boettes, but they were really the Cookies.
Okay.
That was the name of the band.
Okay.
And there's definitely something wrong going on someplace here.
Yeah.
But I think
There's
she's
something
like
funny
screwing
going
around
on
with him though. Like it's total like screwing around with his mind, because she said, "Baby, I love you, but I'm leaving you." To quote Bo, what? Wait a minute. If you love me, how can you leave me? Is it you love me too much that you have to leave me? It doesn't make sense from his point of view.
Yeah.
And I'm on his side, because it's like you're just playing these mind games. This doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
You love me, but you're leaving me. That's like saying, I hate you, but I'm staying.
Yeah, it reminds me of this quote I heard from the fan reviewer on YouTube where he's like, "There's no pleasing you. You're a typical woman. You don't know what you want." He burst out laughing at that.
Oh, man. But this song came out, I believe, in 1966. So you've got basically like 11 years worth of tunage on here. But I don't have a problem with this song. I like it. And yeah, he has quite a few songs where it's like, the woman leaves him, lets him down, whatever. But, he's a blue-based guy. And that's a lot of the blues where, crops have failed, my dog died, and my woman done left me.
It's
Where
like
if you play a blues record backwards...
In reverse, he all gets it back. Like a country music, if you play it back. The woman comes home, you quit drinking, and the cows come home.
Right.
Yeah. All right, final thoughts. Overall, Bo Diddley is a legend more people nowadays need to know about. When he rocks, he does it with a groove, and you find yourself singing along to his songs. But be very careful when you listen to this collection, because you might get tired of hearing about his romantic escapades or the stories about how said escapades came to an end. It's kind of depressing. Yeah, I'm still going to say it. Thanks for the music, Bo. And getting to see your badass guitar up close and personal in Seattle was one of the coolest moments of my life, and I'm only 20, so I already know that's one of the coolest moments of my life.
You need to live life more.
Yeah. But
Okay.
hey! No! Seeing that guitar was cool, and I stand by it. Now you
Yeah,
can talk.
it was. I will give it that. And I remember the Cheap Trick guitar, which had the 5 necks, and it was just for show.
Yeah, the guitars like that have no point.
But yeah, all in all, a solid collection from one of rock and roll's founding fathers. Highly recommended. This CD is also available as the complete collection. Yeah, it's a different title. It's the same exact lineup. I think same booklet, just a different picture of Bo on the cover. It's a color picture as opposed to a black and white one. You can't go wrong either way. Like I said, I'm kind of debating about expanding my Bowscape from 20 songs to 54. We shall see. But for now, I think this might be all that I need. We shall see.
All right. So, as always, thank you for listening to another episode of My Dad Listens to This. If you like this video, please like it. If you didn't like this video, too bad. We're going to be making more of these, so screw you.
You be nice.
Yes, sir. All right. If you want to let us know your specific thoughts on this episode, please leave us a comment down below. If you want to know when we upload our episodes, please hit the subscribe button or tap the bell if you want to be notified right away. And if you want to get the episodes through me or Dad, here's how you can. If you follow me on Facebook, Juliet Antonio, I post the episodes on Facebook. If you follow me on Twitter, I am on Twitter at Juliet Antonio. My profile pic is the logo they recently drew for the state of Rhode Island during the coronavirus epidemic. I'll show it to Dad later. So that's me on
Is that
Twitter.
the one with the Statue of Liberty torch?
Yes.
Seen it.
All right, so if you follow me, My Dad Listens to This blog on Tumblr, I post the episodes on Tumblr, and just recently, I got an Instagram for the first time, so if you want to know when episodes are coming up, if you follow me on Instagram, I post a photo of the album we are going to be reviewing that day. The first one I posted was the Cream one, so you can find me on Instagram as well, and if you're friends with Dad and want to get the episodes through Dad, just let him know, and I can send them to Dad, that way he can email them to you personally. All right, we will be back next week with another album to nitpick and gripe about. Dad, anything you want to say before we sign off? Have a good one, guys. We'll see you around for the next one.
Thanks for listening.
And it'll be fun.